Yeah, he didn't.
Oh, he did.
He
Did no, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. He just played very, very well.
He played
placed top
very
10
well.
in most of the games, and it was enough points to get him into top 10 and first place by a pretty large margin.
Yeah, so just like a note out there to players that maybe winning isn't everything. Kills, kills and consistency are going to be huge in this event.
Definitely, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for consistency. If a player places very, very well one or two of the games, even if they get wiped at the beginning, it might still be enough. All right, guys, are we ready to get into game number 1? Are you guys out in the chat ready to get into the game? You got your code, so that's all taken care of. Let's turn our eyes to Fort Destiny and see the dance moves and the players preparing for the first game.
That's Kuge right on the screen.
Of today.
A lot of players in the fort right here. Specifically, I'm going to highlight a couple of the Enigma 6 guys. We're looking at Sign. Now, Sign is statistically a highly skilled player, very, very, very good at the game, as well as one of the top players in the Champions Arena hosted servers. If you guys are unaware, there's a community event, Champions Arena, where like top of the top players play from different regions, players who built up a reputation. Sign is taking it by storm with a very, very high kills per match. So we might see some aggression coming out of him. I'm also going to talk about MMX TV, who was in the 2015 Showdown, is also an owner of a gold AR. So he might be hunting for a second one.
Definitely. The honor of having not just one AR, but 2 golden ARs is pretty dang impressive. There's a lot of skill in this lobby. A lot of amazing players, a lot of slayers in here. Another player that comes to mind is Howie. I had the pleasure of meeting Howie at the Fight for the Crown tournament. He's signed by Echo Fox, and currently I believe he's 6th place on the preseason 4 leaderboards. There's a lot of competition on the European leaderboard, so that's very, very good of him to be that high. Speaking of incredible performance on the leaderboards, Eric Triceps. If you know the H1Z1 scene, you know Eric Triceps. He was the first player to get a 37-kill game for a little while, holding the record for solo kills. He took first place in the preseason 3 and the preseason 4 leaderboard, so I'm looking for strong performances from him as well.
And another Echo Fox player, Jerk Chicken, is also in this game, and that's someone to definitely be watching out for. Let's hope he stays clear from the gas.
Jerk Chicken is so good. He's good at everything. He's good at shotgun, close range, medium range, long range. He's such a smart, intellectual player. We might see him placed highly as well.
It looks like game 1 is off to a start. Players are going to be parachuting across the map. So far, we've seen a lot of action off spawn. We kind of hit that like early game lull, but there's going to be a lot of carnage. Today's match is going to be starting with about around 150 people. We'll see an exact count in just a moment. Players are scattering to the outskirts. They want to try to be as safe as they can. Nobody wants to fight in the beginning. So we have some keynotes. MMX TV up in the top right. We got Howie heading to Cranberry. 2 people on top of each other.
Oh, no. Is this going to be the first death of the game? I don't know if either of them have a weapon.
They're running for their lives. 161
they both
want
to grab a weapon, but neither of them want to fight.
All these people are running, for the hills. And the first person down in the EU Showdown is MBK2G. Get Foxy and Gray Fox Ninja also down. Unfortunately, these guys are out for game 1.
Those players, they cannot be happy that they were the first ones to die in the first game of the tournament. That's not a good look. But, like we said, there are 2 more games to prove your chance. So just because you die at the beginning of the game in the first one, if you do well and you play consistently through game number 2 and game number 3, you're going to be okay.
We have Apex Shade right here looting these campers, and this is someone to definitely be watching.
Definitely a crowd favorite.
Yes. For sure. He's been doing really, really well in Champions Arena.
We already have a fight breaking out here. Gas grenade thrown onto Future. Jackie Chan 1, 2, 3. Kind of hesitant to push up, knowing where he is, but not exactly ready if he's sure for a fight. Only a shotgun equipped, so he's got to play the range effectively.
Yep, it looks like he might be going in for the push, but he's going. Oh my goodness, he didn't want to push.
Close.
And he
Future
backed
is
up
not
right
equipped
into
with the
the
helmet
trailer.
either.
If Future pushes him and gets shot by the shotgun, he might get taken out. But if he backs up, he might be able to live to fight another day. Let's see if he can land his shots before Jackie Chan is able to run away.
Yeah, this is tough. There's not a lot of loot here, and there's not a lot of loot in the area. If you're going to be on foot like Future here, no helmet, running an open field, you are taking a huge risk. Here we have Eric. Looks like he's right outside of Ranchito, kind of camping this car, see if the player will come out, maybe get a quick 2-tap, take loot and a car, and get out of the city.
Yeah, that would be a good prize to take. One of the benefits of getting a kill on somebody in a vehicle is because you can loot that player's loot from within the vehicle, so you can stay mobile while you're looting, as opposed to like standing next to a body bag and standing still looting. That's much more dangerous than if you're able to kill someone in a car.
Ooh, looks like he has been spotted. His plan's gonna be foiled a little bit here, but Eric is not a person to mess with in a 1v1 fight. He is a very consistent player. Definitely want to keep an eye out on where he's moving and what fight he's taking.
Absolutely. So one of the most dangerous parts of the game is at the very, very beginning, when everybody lands and everybody's trying to find their spot in the game to loot. that's dangerous because if you run into somebody at the beginning of the game, if you run into somebody close range with a shotgun in a building, either you're going to die or they're going to die, or you trade and nobody's happy.
Now, we've seen this safe zone quite a few times. It looks like we're going to be having a Cranberry Bay safe zone in the south middle of the map. We saw this a lot yesterday in Australia. It actually went there about 3 times. So
yeah, I think
it's
all
funny
3 games.
It's funny to see we're getting back there again. You know, it could be different. We could get in Cranberry. We could be in Spence Hills. We're going to have to see. But a lot of players from the north, like especially these guys over here in Ranchito, are going to have to migrate. Looks like we've seen about 16 people have already died in the first few minutes of the game. It's really hard with this many people in the arena. You are going to have to fight.
Definitely, definitely.
We have the real Slim Shady moving through residential. What is he going to do?
You better watch
like
out.
he's
You
running.
better watch out. It looks like he does not want to
Yeah.
stay in that residential area. That is not his cup of tea.
I definitely saw one of the community streamers gone here taken out of the game already. Now, just remember... Ooh,
Oh my
Eric!
goodness, does he know there's a player right behind him? Eric, there's somebody right next to you.
Oh.
And the #1 player from Preseason 3 and Preseason 4 gets taken out in
Wow.
142nd place.
Oxen Noodle Arms
That
takes
is
him out.
that is rough. Eric was looking the opposite way. Shotguns coming out. Eric Triceps already down in the top 140. That's
That
really
is
unfortunate.
bad
Wow.
luck running into somebody. I can imagine he left the city because he didn't want to run into somebody, but he just ran right into somebody by a tree.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now players are going to be playing really safe and really weird hiding.
Oh, we got 2 players kind of next to each
I
other.
believe
house
that
to
is
house.
Stormin. I think I see the gold AR in his back. You know, despite the name, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that is Stormin. I think that is
Yeah,
the real
Stormin
Rogue
is
Storm.
on Rogue.
Definitely
That
a
would make
community
sense.
favorite. A very, very skilled player. Has proven that consistently over tournaments. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Definitely.
Chowski taken out of the game by a shotgun. Now, we've seen a lot in the previous showdowns that shotguns are really, really prevalent in these games. In just the first game of the South American, when we had 60 shotgun kills.
60 shotgun kills out of the 155 or 160 players. That's
got
incredible.
Ken Star face first into the ground, dead on the streets of the neighborhood. So many fights going on. Everybody, a big favorite here, Vitality Gotaga, finding himself with a police car, you know, navigating the map. This guy, I know he has a lot of support in the community. If you guys are rooting for him, you know, get some Gotaga love in the chat for this guy.
Definitely, definitely.
Now, Jackie Chan 123 is a professional CS:GO player for Navi, if I'm not mistaken.
That is what a skilled individual. Not only playing competitively in H1Z1, but also a pro Counter-Strike player. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Looks like
Definitely.
he needs a backpack.
Yeah,
That
definitely
would be-
somebody with raw aim. But I mean, if you have a shotgun in open field, aim's not going to do much for you. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
He seems to be in a bad situation right now with no rifle. Now,
He's
okay.
heading towards PV.
Speaking of gameplay styles and seeing how the fights are breaking out, like we were talking about, the Australia Showdown yesterday was players were playing incredibly aggressive. A lot of players rushing, a lot of players finishing fights with shotguns. I'm already seeing a difference. Even though this is just the beginning of the European Showdown, I'm seeing a big difference in gameplay styles. A lot more fights are being used by rifles, by ARs, by AKs, and not a lot of players are rushing. The only shotgun fights I've seen so far are players that just happen to run into each other and are very close. But players aren't forcing the fights. Players are turning around, heading out, leaving, and I think that's a smart way to play. Even if you get a couple kills at the beginning, if you die 130th, 120th, you're not going to have a very strong score. We have another fight breaking out here between Code and Freezolo. Grenades going out, shots back and forth. They're pre-firing the corners, but they're both staying very, very mobile. They're peeking, they're using nades. Neither of them have gotten shot once. This is a pretty solid fight right now. Freezy getting hit by, oh my goodness, Freezy got taken out by both players.
Those are great shots, too.
Definitely.
Great picks.
Definitely. Good uses of frag grenades and well-placed bullets.
Ooh, looks like the Eric Triceps killer Oxen is taken out of the game, unfortunately.
Oxen, noodle arms.
And even though Eric's out first game, I mean, he still has a chance if he does well in game 2 and game 3. So, I mean, you
Of
definitely don't
course,
want to be
of course.
discounted going out early in that first game.
Yeah, just because you do go out in the first game, sometimes it might mess with your confidence. Like
Yeah.
H1Z1 is such a confidence-based game. If you're feeling like you're going to be able to land your shots, simply feeling like you can do it might give you the confidence that you need to make those shots happen. And if you doubt yourself, you might hesitate, and those moments of hesitation could be the difference between life and death.
Absolutely.
Now, moments ago, we heard the very first sirens which means that Gas is going to be moving towards the safe zone. We're going to be hitting, it's going to be forcing players in. At this stage of the game, Gas is a little bit weak, so experienced players will know how to navigate and heal through it. But they are going to be forced to reposition soon. If you guys are unfamiliar with how Gas works in this game, the longer you stay in it, you build up a meter called toxicity. And once you hit 100 toxicity, you start taking more damage from Gas. It looks like we have Mountain FPS here, looting the first airdrop of the game.
Did he get the
netting
hunting
himself
rifle?
either. Doesn't look like he has a hunting rifle on his back, but he looks like he took the 10 militaries, got himself some ammo. Nice little supply boost for Mountain here.
Yes. I don't think, like, in the 3 games we played yesterday, we didn't see any hunting rifle kills. Nobody got their hands on a hunting rifle, or if they did, they didn't use it to any success.
Yeah, that's true. And we're going to see a lot of prevalence in, cars in this kind of safe zone. I just like to point out to the stream, if you guys are interested in listening to the French broadcast, there is another stream, Twitch TV/LE stream, Twitch TV/LE stream. If you guys would like to listen to the French broadcast, there is an alternate stream up for you guys.
Les stream.
Le stream.
Let's stream.
I like that. I like
Ooh,
that.
G Donnie taken out from the side. YouTube Starshipper also down. Another Champions Arena player. See, we're going to be seeing a lot of carnage here in the first game. Now, just remember, guys, if players are taken out of the game, in the first game, you are able to bounce back in Game 2 and Game 3. You are not out for good, that's for sure.
And something I want to point out as well, I mean, we lost players so quickly yesterday in the Australian games. We still have 124 remaining, and I think that's quite a bit compared to yesterday.
Yeah,
so
that shows
it's a
how
lot
much
more
players are
passiveness.
prioritizing staying alive. Most of the fights so far have been players that are almost forced into confrontation just by proximity.
They're utilizing their own space. Oh, and
I don't think this fight is going to happen.
yeah, I don't think so as well.
I think Pepe knows that there's a player out there, even if he's heard him or maybe he saw him, but he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of players kind of hanging out, playing safe. And we saw this, so we have Crumb down here in the very bottom of the map, kind of hiding a police car. Placement is important to these players. They understand that the longer they wait in the game, the more points they're going to accumulate. Now, speaking of waiting, for you guys waiting at home, Showdown EU is the code. Make sure you guys redeem it on the website. It looks like we have a fight breaking outside of PV. Days official taking shots at Notorious.
Notorious, he's in a bad situation. He's down to 1 shot, and it looks like he's getting pinched between 2 players, one in the city and one out by the rock.
Now, this is tough, especially in places like Pleasant Valley. Once you hear gunshots, you are going to attract more players. It's like a domino effect. They hear 1 kill, and more kills are going to fall after that.
Of course, of course. One of the interesting and crazy dynamics about any Battle Royale game, and H1Z1 in specific, is you can never truly count on a 1v1 unless you're literally the last 2 players alive. If you're fighting somebody and you're getting tunnel vision on one fight, if you stay in the same location, someone's going to come up from behind you and finish you off.
Yeah, Daze is not done with Notorious. Daze taking off his armor. Notorious to get a chance to heal up a little bit. He's around 70 HP, so he is taking shots back at Daze. Kind of a little bit more confident. Notice how he's watching his back. Grenades coming out. Does not connect.
Notorious has no cover from behind him towards the city, so if somebody does, I see him. He keeps turning around and checking just to make sure somebody's not coming up behind him, which is very, very smart. But he's going to definitely have to focus on Daze if he wants to fight him off.
Now, these players are confident. Notorious just took off the helmet of Daze official, and as a skilled player, once you hit that helmet shot, you kind of get that little boost of confidence. You're feeling good with your shot.
Absolutely.
And you can turn the tides of a fight using confidence like that.
It looks like both of them are crouching, both of them are healing. They're not going to be rushing each other. We're going to see players in these games using every tool at their disposal. They're going to use nades. They're going to use weapons. They're going to use positioning. They're going to use placement.
Notorious caught the quick 2-tap.
Oh my
to the
goodness,
face.
what a decisive 2-tap. That was a close fight though. He got Daze down to about 1 shot.
All right, first gas is about to hit the ring. Notice how many players are in the gas. Cloud Orbit being all the way up at Harris Ridge. By the way, he's moving, might not have the fastest vehicle in the game. So all these players are going to be moving. We have Vitality, Hurrah, also by Humperdinck. All these players are forced into the first zone. Like, the longer they wait, the less chance, they're going to have to find a safe area.
Yes, look at how few players there are in Spence Hills. Spence Hills is relatively in the center of the safe zone,
There
but there's
it
only a
goes.
couple players in Spence Hills.
Now, it's important to notice that the further the safe zone is moving south, the further, Cranberry is going to be forced out, and Spence Hills as well. So all these players up north are definitely going to find themselves in a tough spot. We have Zeke taking shots at Epsilon Fieldern in the gas. So these players are definitely interacting. Stormin finding himself at 8 Mile, looking for loot. He does have a police car. It is kind of in a poorer condition than he'd like, but he is able to navigate and find himself some loot and get away if he needs to.
Definitely.
I feel like we're about to see a lot of deaths happening with all of those players north of the circle migrating south. We're going to see a lot of that.
All of those players are going to get funneled in. Plus, the next safe zone is pushing them even farther away. The entirety of Pleasant Valley is not going to be in the safe zone. So anybody up in Pleasant Valley or on the entire north side of the map, all they're getting funneled into that south part. Oh my goodness, we have Enigma Sim coming up on...
Ooh, Zeke with the shots in the gas. This is dangerous. He's trying to secure himself that ATV, and down he goes.
Not enough.
Zeke unfortunately losing his life in the gas. He tried to get the ATV, but looks like LeCompte had taken Zeke out of the game.
Yeah, LeCompte was trying to hotwire that ATV. And Enigma 6, he kind of had the drop on him, but he hopped out of the ATV and took him out before he was able to finish the fight.
Gotaga finding himself in a fight right with Mountain FPS. He's players are able to bounce away from fights using cars, which is a smart move. There is a huge death in the kill feed. 10K days.
He is a legend.
He is a legend. A high speed, high sensitivity, throwable king. This man is a monster. He is down for the count early. It looks like Navi, a Guardian, is also out of the game as well.
And Jackie Chan got taken out.
Yeah. So many deaths happening around the edges of the gas on the north side, especially. So many players are forced to run out of the gas and into the open. We got shots coming out at Dimac, from the AK. He loses his armor, but he's not down at Future 33 pushing up on the sides.
Dimac is put into a difficult situation right here. He has players on both sides, but he has a rock to hide behind and a tree behind the hut.
I guess you could say he's between a rock and a hard place, right?
Exactly.
Smoke grenade's coming out, though. Now, this is important to note which way he's putting the smoke grenade. He kind of isolates one side off, which lets him have a 1v1 with another player. This is definitely like a key strategy. Future finding himself very low as well. We're going to be seeing a lot of fights like this where players try to isolate to a 1v1.
Right behind. There's 4 players right in this area. This is going to get crazy. Future has a very, very strong position. You could say Future has a bright future on that ridge because he doesn't have to overcommit, but if they can find the crazy 2-tap on him, then he's going to get taken out nonetheless. Dinmac is just getting out of there. He does not like the situation that he was put in. He wants to relocate so that he's not going to get pinched.
I know earlier we saw Howie sitting in the bathroom for quite a while, and it seems like he's playing pretty safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we're going to have a fight break out right here. Oh, no! Peppy had the drop on Egoist, but Egoist was able to find the quick 2-tap. Sometimes, even if you get the drop on somebody, if you are... Oh, we have a fight breaking out in the gas.
That's unfortunate. Dimac was running with his hands out. For you guys at home, running with your hands out actually doesn't make you go any faster or anything. It's just a habit some players have. Fortunately, kind of caught him off guard there, and he went down without a fight.
Running with no guns out, it makes you look like a striking figure indeed.
Yeah, looks like the second wave of gas is pushing into the next ring. We're going to have to see. Now, notice there's still players in Pleasant Valley, all the way kind of hanging out. Epsilon Kuge, Zach Rock, Hypnotize, all these top players are kind of just forced to run into the safe zone super late into the game. And notice there's not a lot of people around the center, more so in EU than we've seen in the South American, Australian ones. But there is definitely going to be a crowded area here soon as the map condenses.
As opposed to winner chicken dinner, we have the player named loser chicken dinner right here, driving an ATV at half health. Hopefully, he's trying to prove his name wrong. He doesn't want to be the loser. He wants to be the winner. Let's see if that'll happen.
I think it's even looser.
Wow, look at that drop.
Dinner. Ooh.
Right
Dano is in a lucky spot here a little bit. He's going to have an airdrop personally delivered to him.
I wonder if he knows that there's an airdrop landing on his head.
It's literally personally delivered to this guy. If he doesn't loot this, I will be very... Look, the door is open. He has to see... He's like, what?
What?
Where is it?
Is this for me?
He's like, okay, all right. Looks like he's tabbing over it now. A lot of players will quickly check. Rizar kind of finding himself in a fight between loser chicken dinner. He has his back to the gas. He has throwable in hand. Looks like he's going to throw it. Flashbang out.
Oh
does
my
connect
gosh.
to loser.
He's
and he actually gets...
Oh my holy guacamole.
Rizar hit the... Oh no, Rizar down for the count. Got hit by her 2-tapped while the other player was flashbang. That is really unfortunate.
That was a brave move to just push out and try and fight that.
Well, I know a lot of the E6 players are very confident using flashbangs. Rizar and Zeke especially are like a deadly combo using flashbangs.
Definitely. He blinded not only the player, but also the spectator. Whoa, that was a turnaround. That was impressive. What a two-tap.
Now, there's very highly skilled players in the European region. You're going to see a lot of two-taps coming out, a lot of quick kills.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of precise AR play in this game.
Ooh, another kill
one,
for
yeah.
Loser, Chicken D.
Loser is proving that he is not what his name entails.
Now,
Holy cow.
hopefully here we don't have another Foku Sierra incident. There was a player who kind of had a similar name. Here's a fan favorite, Rogue Stormin driving backwards on a hill, dodging bombs, hanging out. Ooh. And we're going to see a lot of kills. POTUS taking out Tixi. See, a lot of these fights are breaking out right here. We got Kaka Jiha coming out of the gas right 100 meters out, and he is aware of the other players around him.
He knows,
but,
he heard the shot. If he got line of sight, which he does, POTUS is going to get pinched. This is a very, very unfortunate pinch. He's pushing right
No
into.
helmet.
He has
He
no
knows.
idea that he's behind the rock.
Oh.
POTUS, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Once again, he was forced to run right into the other player and was taken out because of it. But the battle is not over because there's still 2 players left. A frag grenade is thrown. They're going to be doing the dance with nades. They're going to try to flank each other out of position and get some shots on them before they have to push too close. Another frag grenade coming out. Doing a lot of damage, knocking him down to about 40% health. Cloud is taking control over this fight. Cloud is moving back and forth, taking control,
Ooh,
and finishes
ouch.
out the fight.
Great movement.
Yeah,
on his
Cloud
end.
Orbit has proven to be very effective at landing those headshots. He hit a clean 2-tap right before this.
Of course, of course.
Kuge taking shots across the field. Kuge is someone I'm definitely watching for in this game. He's a great player. His movement's great, and he uses a lot of nades to utilize that skill and jump in and take that kill.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
good.
It's really good.
Yeah, these players need to use every tool at their disposal.
Looks like sirens are coming out. We're seeing Gas move. You know, Gas is going to be forcing players even more south. Howie picking up a kill, you know, on the boards right here. Tribune and Kakaton with the trade, unfortunately. Ooh, Sephi using the effective medium-range shotgun
That
here.
was some good movement there, getting shots back and forth on both sides, bleeding the other player until it was pretty much done.
And unfortunately, 1A1 is out of the game for good.
Now, most of these fights, the majority of these fights that are breaking out are on the north side of the map because all of those players have been funneled and have been forced into each other. They've been forced together. A lot of the players that are in the south side of the map, or in the center of the map specifically, aren't being forced to get into very many fights.
There are a lot of players remaining for this circle getting
Yeah,
smaller and smaller.
80
This is
players
about to,
remaining. We have like Saikin running out of the gas here. You know, Method the Key sees him, taking shots at him, but he's not going to be able to connect too many here. He gets into cover, but there's going to be so many players around him. They hear these shots, and all these skilled players are attracted to that. They're hunting for free kills.
Oh, Kugi. It looks like Kugi is going to be pinned in the gas. Kugi's pinned in the gas, and Smau is basically going to be patrolling back and forth. He has free shots on Kugi right here. This is not a good situation for Kugi, even though they are very, very far away from each other.
And it's good. The longer he keeps Kuge in the gas, like, the more his toxicity going to be. Fictional finding himself at like 5 HP, getting rushed.
Oh,
Duncan
he's getting
Official.
rushed with the shotgun.
Duncan Official taking him down with the COD rush.
That was a smart play. That was a very smart play indeed. He knew that he was really, really damaged. He only needed to hit him with a couple pellets to kill the fight.
I'd just like to point out some of the few players still alive in the game. Sign, Crumsplin, Texify, Stormin, Fielder, and Kuge. There's so many players still alive, and there's so many players that maybe I don't even know too much about, like YouTube Days Official, top of the leaderboards, Tea Party with Vago, Champions Arena players who are trying to make more of a name for themselves.
Definitely. A lot of kills happening. Every time the safe zone gets smaller and smaller, then more players are forced into a smaller area. This is going to be an interesting safe zone because we got a lot of open area to the south of Cranberry, and we also have, like, the entirety of the city is still safe. So I think we're probably going to see a lot of players usher into the city to try to post up in a building simply to get out of the fights and survive. When you're out in the fields, it can be brutal because if you get pinched, if you don't have cover, you're going to get shot from all sides.
Cloud Orbit, unfortunately, meeting his demise by frag grenade. Good throw by Smau.
Definitely. Cloud has been doing pretty well taking control of the fights, but it was turned around on him in that situation.
We have our third airdrop of the map. Looks like it's hovering right over Bumjig Farms. Now, if you guys at home don't know, the airdrop has a chance of And, you know, holding the 308 hunting rifle, which is a high caliber weapon, it is a one shot to the head, instant kill. So a lot of these players will be contesting this. Now, that's not the only threat of other players. There is airstrikes that will continually rain down on the airdrop in the surrounding area, which poses as a huge threat as the circle gets smaller. Ooh.
Oh, shots from across town.
Yeah, these players are no joke. Even if you're like 200, 300 meters out, they will be landing clean rifle shots. So you have to be careful about having your back exposed like that.
Definitely, definitely. And that's the challenge. That's the struggle of being in a game with 66 other players, 100 other players, however many players there are left, until it's down to the final 2 players. You never know if somebody's going to come up from behind you.
You've got
That's why
Sign taking
mobility
shots.
is so important.
Yeah, Sign is definitely somebody we're going to have to keep an eye on this game.
So over half the players have died at this point in the game. The safe zone is going to continue to get smaller, to continue to get more and more pressure on the players on the outskirts of the city, on the outskirts of the safe zone, until everybody is eventually forced together. To this point, we've seen a lot of players using the gas because of the gas early on, not doing too much damage. They're able to survive in the gas.
And right now we have 3 players looking at that airdrop,
Yeah.
posted up, waiting to
All
go
hanging
get that
out.
hunting rifle and
They're
see
all
if it's in there.
All hanging out in their trailers.
Yeah, nobody wants to move. I feel like the one player that goes for the hunting rifle is kind of taken out pretty quick. Splintexify and Laven, both on the same mountain. I'm sure Splintexify has seen him, but I don't think he wants to open fire unless he's got some definitive shots, especially because they're going to be pushed by gas. One situation you do not want to be in is you don't want to get into a fight while you're in the gas, because if you get shot once or twice, you're not only getting hurt from the gas, but you're also bleeding out. You're going to have to stop your bleeding, which is going to spend more time in the gas, and it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, Gas is pushing in, forcing players. Now, this stage of the game, Gas is going to start ramping up damage. You know, you're going to be kind of forced to use more healing supplies and kind of move with the gas to try to stay as healthy as possible here. So we still have a lot of people in Cranberry and the surrounding area, but, you know, we're going to see a big shift in safe zone here with this next ring. It's going to force a lot of players to move. The circle is going to get significantly smaller. Splintexify reaching the base of a mountain. Find another player. We got Sweezy taken out of the game by Zinko7. We got, looks like a BQLLTV in a 1v1 versus Splintexify. Splintexify would love to take this fight because he wants the car. Nades coming out, causing the car to go down.
Situation.
Now, Splintexify is a man with a mastery of throwables. I remember specifically back in a tournament back on the old map, he actually wiped out one of my old teams explicitly only using nades. Just beautiful nade tosses. Wiped 5 people with the frag grenades.
And I believe Stormin was just taken out of the game.
Oh,
Really?
Rogue Stormin was taken out. He made it relatively far into the top 3rd, but still not as high as he would like to be.
Yeah, 56th place is definitely, you know, where you not want to be. Definitely, you know, it could be worse. Like a lot of fan favorites, Eric Triceps going down to like 140.
Oh,
Stormin
yeah.
taking out of the game, 56. So we're going to kind of have to see how these players react to, like, maybe there's a sigh of relief knowing Stormin is not in the game anymore.
Everybody's confidence just surges.
Now here we have the next safe zone shift. You know, we have a lot of players going to be on top of each other, encompassing Cranberry, the Cranberry Residential, and the bridge. So there's going to be a lot of point of interest to fight over, and a lot of these players on the south are going to have to move over.
They're going to have to get forced into each other. This is going to be a really tricky situation. 54 players getting pushed into a relatively small safe zone that is split half between the city and half between, like, the fields and the bridge. There's some bridges, there's some ridges, there's some trees, there's some cover, but for the most part, there's a lot of open space. Nobody wants to get caught on the open space, so we'll probably have like 30 or more of the players forced into kind of hiding in the city.
And the river is going to be a huge point of interest. Look at these players.
The river may
Invo
be
finding
under the
himself
bridge.
on bridges, Nightmare taking shots, and I'm like, this is going to be a highly contested area. Splintexify finding himself in another 1v1 versus Ben HZ. Now nades are coming out from both parties. Splintexify shot
Getting
from
shot
behind.
from the back.
He has a small little divot to heal, but it might not be enough. Cars coming out. Splintexify is going to be forced to fight.
Ben's pushing in.
Ben's just got really lucky there that
Yeah.
there was some pressure alleviated from him from somebody shooting Splintexify from behind.
Splint is definitely aware. He's kind of keeping his back turned to everybody else.
Ben's
using
pushing up.
to push up.
I don't think Splintexify knows he's watching the wrong directions. Ben's is going to be able to get a free kill on him from behind.
Oh!
They're not set! Splintexify says, no, I refuse to get taken out of the game right now. He whips around
Splintexify.
180 and just destroys him with a shotgun. I was not expecting that
Amazing.
whatsoever.
Wow, Splintexify, such a clutch, brilliant play.
Jiminy Christmas. Now, Benz had no idea how hurt Splintexify was. He was trying to take advantage of the situation, but no dice.
That has got to feel bad. You know, you finally get up an edge on another player, you turn around and get a shotgun to the face
Now,
and get face first into the ground.
Honestly, looking at that spot Splintexify is playing, that's an incredibly strong position. He has that whole little hill right behind him to protect him from that entire side. He also has the tree that he can hide behind him, line of sight players that might be trying to flank him from behind.
We have
So that's a
another
really, really
standoff in this building.
powerful spot.
Yeah, Hurrah is definitely not a player to mess with, too. Definitely a skilled individual for sure. Now, while we kind of hit this low gas,
Howie is still in the bathroom.
Howie's hanging out.
Howie.
Like,
He hasn't
looks
left.
like he had a big lunch.
Howie,
He
you
left
need
the present
to
in the toilet.
chew.
He's read the entire magazine.
You
He's read the
need
book.
to chew your food before you eat it.
Howie has, I don't know if he's moved. He's been in that bathroom since the beginning.
Here we got Mithrain, another fan favorite out there. I
They
know a lot
must
of
have
people
TVs.
support him. Hopefully we don't see, you know, another fight for the crown incident with Howie here. A lot of the Echo Fox players unfortunately went down to the gas, so I don't think he wants to do it again.
Crumb is still hanging out in the gas,
The gas
making
can
his
be
way
brutal.
inward. What is going to happen?
Especially this part of the map. Like, once the map goes later and later, the gas is going to start doing double damage, triple damage, and be more and more dangerous to players, so they're not going to be able to stay.
Tea Party with Vago taking out Hypnotize, Apex Shea taking out Lacapteri. There's going to be a lot of fights breaking out here soon. Tea Party with Vago unfortunately goes down as well from the 88% assist from Hypnotize. We're going to be seeing like a lot of fights are breaking out. Players have to fight now. Tricks
Yeah, they have
taken
to
out of
fight.
the
They're
game.
fighting for this position. At this point, they have nowhere to run. You know that there's 44 other players out there. If you don't stand your ground and fight to try to get players away from where you are, then you're going to just get forced into another player, get pinched, unless you get really, really lucky. And I know most players would want to rely on skill as opposed to luck, so they don't want to throw it up to fate.
Howie's in a different bathroom, everyone. He has moved to a different bathroom.
Howie's not feeling very good. He tried to go into work, but he's like, no, I got to go back to the bathroom. He tries to go to the next building. No. It's not working out. Not
He's
working out.
utilizing, though, those two openings and trying to get out of there, I think, safely.
Now, Howie has gone with the city route. A lot of the players are fighting for position out in the fields, out in the forest, but Howie decided to go with the city route. This might be the first time we see him going out into the open, though.
Yeah, he is equipped with, it's super blended into his shirt, but he does have a 2-hit body armor on, and that's huge for this late in the game. Kind of being able to survive either a shotgun blast or 2 extra rifle shots can make or break a fight.
Absolutely, especially for those close-range fights that are probably going to break out in the city.
Yeah, definitely. You got to play it safe. You know, there's going to be another airdrop coming in over the residential area of Cranberry, so it means airstrikes are going to be coming in. CMD taking shots in his truck. It doesn't actually get hit just yet. Maybe losing his armor, but he's still pretty healthy. Mountain FPS in a fight with Bot won't get AR. Mountain pushing up, grenades coming out. Mountain actually clutching it and taking on. No, Crumb with the assist from deep. Actually kind of saves Mountain's life.
Definitely, definitely.
Mountain has to be careful here. Crumb taking shots, looks like from the gas even. Sign pushing up onto Mountain as well. Crumb is in the gas in the surrounding area. This is going to be tough. Mountain is taking shots, doesn't know where to look, doesn't know where to go. He's kind of pinched here.
Mountain is wondering, where am I getting shot from? Crumb from within the gas once again. Crumb is getting a lot of hits on players. They
And
don't seem to be able to find him.
And
He's been
notice
playing
that
safe this entire time. He's been moving in his car, staying with the gas line, moving forward, and not pushing anything until it's safe.
Not a bad play, and he is equipped with that gold AR in his hands. He's definitely hunting for number 2.
Now, what is going to determine how the last part of the game plays out is largely going to be based on the next safe zone. If the next safe zone pushes players out of the city, then it's going to lead to a lot of open fights, a lot of pinches. If the safe zone goes towards the city, then we're going to see a lot of waiting in buildings, a lot of standoffs, and then those crazy, crazy close-range fights, whether hip firing with the AR or the AK, or trying to use the shotgun to decisively finish off the fight.
Now notice how Crumb is kind of using, you know, his car as cover and the gas, taking shots at Fieldern here. He has 2 bodies to pick and loot from. Fieldern is still taking shots, might not be able to recover. Crumb is just going to take some time, heal up in the gas, and play patiently. 35 players remaining. The longer, you know, he goes, the more points he's going to accumulate for himself. MMX TV also.
That was another one of your top picks.
Yeah.
MMX.
Fight breaking out. Hurrah, taken out from Liam. Liam with the jump shotgun onto his teammate. Hurrah.
Hurrah is
taken out of
another
the
crowd
game.
favorite. A very, very strong player and a great streamer.
Yeah. There is a lot of action going on here. This is going to be encompassing. It looks like Cranberry is kind of being forced out of the safe zone, residential area. Look at Reston finding himself.
What a shot!
Liam is kind of asserting dominance over this residential area, saying, don't mess with me. This is my area.
Liam showing confidence in close range and medium range.
It's kind of crazy to see how all these players are reacting to being forced in such a small area with so many people. Now, a lot of these players are used to it because, you know, in the competitive environment, like especially with like North America and EU scrims, there's a lot of players left alive at this stage of the game. Liam with his 3rd kill in the residential area, he is absolutely displaying dominance this game.
Definitely, definitely. Now, one of the trends that I'm seeing through these games, a lot of the times if one player will get the drop on another player, they're actually the player that'll die.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how players can quickly turn a situation around. Apex Shay coming around with the Jeep towards Howie. Howie reacting with the nade, but just kind of hanging out in between the silos here.
Only 24 players remaining. We have reached Hunger Games status. Howie's still in. Zeeth with some nice jumping shots. Nice jumping shots. On
Zeeth
Cold.
is one of my longtime friends as well, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to pull this off.
He's doing incredibly well.
He's a strong competitor, definitely.
All of the players that are still in the game right now, they have set themselves up for success. Even if you die in the next couple of deaths, getting top 20, getting 21st, getting 15th, it's going to put you in a situation where if you play consistently, you might be able to get top 10 at the end of the showdown.
And we're getting to the top 22. A lot of key players still alive. Apex Shay, Sign, you know, Liam as well, proving to be a strong contender. Dano, the airdrop delivery service, has a little wooden bunker here with a cop car if he really needs to get away.
Now, that cop car might look like it's stuck. Does that look like it's stuck?
Almost.
Because there's a rock behind it and there's some wood in front of it. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that vehicle out very quickly. But he is showing some nice athleticism, doing a backflip from being crouched. I don't think I could do that.
And there's Zeeth. There's your pick, Ali. He's still in.
Zeeth is holding down the fort. Now the next safe zone, is it going to push these players out of the buildings into the field? The final fight is being fought around the farm, which I honestly, personally, I think this is a great final safe zone. It's very, very diverse. You have some trees, you have some logs, you have some cabins, you have a couple buildings here and there, you have some trailers.
Gas grenade coming out onto him. Now, he actually could sit in the gas grenade and heal through it since it's only one, but we're going to have to see. He might run out of cover.
Was that a boombox in Dano's fort? I think I saw a boombox.
He's jamming out.
If it is, he's picked the right spot. He knows what's up.
He's feeling good. I think it.
Oh,
No.
Dan is not looking like he's in a good situation. He is trying to heal up through the smoke or through the gas grenade.
Do you think he can get into that small little shack?
I
That'd be the
would.
ultimate safe spot.
Yeah, I think
Is
the
it
only
though?
thing that
Does
could
it-
hurt you
does
is the gas grenades,
Yeah.
or if somebody pushes you.
Vitality Damsey's taken out of the game. We're seeing 16 players remaining. Top 15 is going to be happening right about now. Cyball taken out of the game. Mythrain picking up a kill on Bros. You know, there's a lot of fights breaking out. Safe Zone is going to be moving here shortly. Sirens coming out. All of these players are going to be forced to move here soon. We're going to see a lot of carnage here, so we'll do our best to keep up.
We're almost top 10, almost top 10. I believe Crumb is still in this game. Did he get taken out
No,
already?
Crumb is still in the game,
Very
I
good.
believe.
Very good.
Howie, MMX, Crumb, Sign. This is going to be an intense, intense game.
Now, I would just like to point out, if Howie is able to win this game or get top 3, he's going to change the bathroom meta of this game forever.
Yeah, exactly. And the safe zone is pulling towards the south side by Bumjig Farms. So a lot of these players up north are going to be forced to move. Dano finding his little fort surrounded by gas. Smoke grenades coming up, trying to build him some cover.
Oh, he gets hit one through the gas.
Yeah,
that
two
was
times.
just
That was a
spamming through the
nice
gas,
shot.
and he was able to get a shot.
Oh!
Whoa!
Wow.
Two Foxy taking out Henke.
Through
with
the
a
That was
window.
like
shot.
whack-a-mole. He would pop up in the window, hello, and then just immediately got punished.
Incredible.
I'd just like to
reflexes.
point out Invul pretty much being at low HP, probably going to go down here to the gas, taken out by a frag grenade by Liam. Liam netting himself probably his 5th kill of the game. Notice the smoke grenades surrounding the map. Apex
Howie,
Shay
the bathroom
taking
legend,
out
has
Howie.
been taken out by another legend.
Now it's definitely a pretty good start for Howie. 11th
More
place is not
whack-a-mole.
bad at
More
all.
whack-a-mole.
Dano being at 10 HP, finding himself in a tough spot here.
Oh
Flash
no,
it?
what's gonna happen? Either one of them could go down at this point because they're both
Ooh.
damaged.
He's
Nice
taking him
shot
out.
through the window, taking him out of the game.
That was like through
8
the window
players
and
remaining.
through the door. Very nice, very nice.
Now I'm gonna have to ask you guys, who are you rooting for this game? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna give my money. Let's see. Actually, you guys go ahead. Let's see.
I mean, I would love to say, there's so many players that I have so much respect for. All of these players are very, very strong. They've been grinding it out. I'd be happy for any of them to win. I'm going to keep my eye on MMX. I'm going to keep my eye on Sign.
In Apex, Shay has a lot of experience in Champions Arena as well, so he might feel really comfortable here.
Definitely, definitely. Now, guys, all of you guys at home in chat, who do you think is going to take this game? Cast your vote in the chat right now. We'd love to see your perspective. Who do you think is going to take this first game of the European Online Showdown?
You know, Liam has shown a very, very strong showing this game so far. Losing his helmet, but, you know, not down without a fight, that's for sure.
No, his back is up to the gas, and it looks like he might be pretty fortunate in not getting pinched, but from other players. But it looks like he's losing this 1v1.
The caster curse.
The caster curse.
But he had a great showing. You know, he got 8th place and like 6 kills.
8th place. Honestly, top 10 in the first game. It set you up for like very, very good positioning for the next
Look
game.
at these guys hanging out in the field, cuddling a little bit. You know, they miss each other.
Cuddling after
Tony, can I get a K Kona in the chat from my man Tony? Hanging out here in the tractor. Howdy, brother.
Hello.
I have to say, I'm pulling for Apex Shay. That's my vote. I'm casting
Apex
it
Shay?
now.
I'm going to go for
Incredibly strong
Sign.
player.
I think Sign is going to take game 1.
Can I break the caster curse? I'm not sure. Let's find out.
At this point, anybody we mention, if they die, it's the caster curse.
True.
I'm keeping my
They
eyes
can
on
only be
MMX.
one.
That was one of Piney's calls at the beginning of the game as well. But anyone can take it. We got to see where the safe zone is going. We got to see who's going to have to move, who's going to get pushed out into the open, who can stay in cover. Really, this game comes down to, when it comes down to the top 10, it comes down to positioning. Every player is great aim. Every player knows how to use nades, knows how to use the terrain. But it comes down to positioning yourself in a place where you can deal out damage without putting yourself in too much danger. And that's a lot easier said than done.
It's gonna be rough here because Mythrain has his side exposed. Sign is gonna be able to spot him out. Apex Shay, you know, kind of like getting himself into a pinch here. Tony, or MMX CB, still hanging out in the little tractor. Safe zone is pulling towards Apex and MMX.
Apex Shay has the very, very strong position right now. He's not going to have to move at all, and all the other players are going to get forced into each other. And there's only 6.
Sign versus Mythrain. Sign absolutely decimating Mythrain's hopes and dreams here. Taking him out of the game. Top 5 players remaining. We have Sign, Apex Shay, MMX TV, Colt, Charlie 12, and 2 Foxy here. Top 5, game 1.
I would love to see a battle between MMX and Apex Shay. Both of them are in very, very strong positions. Apex has those silos that he can just kind of move around, get shots where he can, but he has cover from all over the place. Unless he's getting pinched in the worst type of way, he's still set up in a very, very strong spot. These other players are going to have to cross a lot of distance, possibly some open terrain across the farm in order to get back to safety.
It looks like the tractor is
Oh
going to
no,
be
the tractor
more.
is going to be pushed into gas. I don't know if Apex Shay knows MMX is there.
Yeah, he's going to definitely play it safe. MMX lining up shots, taking
Oh
out 2
my
Foxy
goodness,
from the side.
nice
A very effective
two-tap.
2-tap. Let's
But
see
now
the
he's out in the
1v1
open.
between Apex Shay
Oh,
and MMX.
this is the fight. This is the fight between Titans. Is MMX going to be able to take Apex out? Apex has the advantage right now because
Flashbang
he
out.
has cover. But MMX is going to try to relocate where he's going to stay alive.
Apex Shay did receive damage from the side. You know, Sign is able to pick this off. Colt Charlie as well by the hay bales.
MMX
Tony
is
just
juking
bobbing
in the
and weaving.
corn. This is intense. This is not a situation that MMX wants to be in. He's going to have to take cover or something. Otherwise, he's going to get taken out really, really quickly.
He did just lose his armor there. That is a key piece
Oh!
of information.
Oh,
Apex Shay
great
taking out
shots.
MMX with a shotgun headshot. 3 players remaining.
4th
Charlie,
place,
Apex,
an
and
admirable
Sign.
position. And I'm still impressed by how long he was able to survive getting pushed out into the open there.
That's a great first game for MMX. That's going to net him a lot of points into the top 10. That's
Absolutely.
for sure. Sign, kind of blocking off Apex Shay. It looks like Sign wants to take a 1v1 with Charlie and then, kind of take the initiative to take off Apex Shay. My vote still here is for Sign.
We got Forest versus Silos versus hay bales,
And
and
no
none
one-
of them are in the safe zone. All of them are
Actually,
going to have to
I
move.
think Charlie is in the safe zone. You might
Oh,
not be able
yeah,
to see
he's
it 'cause
behind
of
the green
border.
ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Charlie definitely has the power position here.
Oh,
Has cover
no.
from all sides and safe zone. It's going to be huge. Beautiful gas grenade coming out. Actually doesn't connect to Charlie, but it is kind of going to force him over to the side. Maybe like pushing him out into Apex's vision.
Apex does have a nice rock in front of him, so hopefully he'll utilize that as he moves.
It's true.
towards
You know what I
safe
think
zone.
is going to happen? Because Charlie is positioned in the safe zone, Sign and Apex are going to have to move. I think Sign and Apex are going to pinch Charlie. Unless Charlie's able to get a crazy 2-tap or some very, very well-placed bullets on one of the other players while they're pushing him, I feel like he's going to get flanked out of position eventually, and then it's going to be a 1v1 between Apex and Colt. Or Apex and Sign, I mean.
I really want to see Sign versus Apex. I think that will be a brilliant 1v1.
Yes, I agree.
Two
Battle of
very strong
Titans.
players.
Is Apex
Definitely
moving?
Titans.
Nope, he's just going in between the silo and the tractor. factor.
That rock right in the middle of the safe
Yeah.
zone. It's going to be a battle between like that rock and those hay bales, something like that. There's not going to be a lot of places to take cover once the next safe zone starts moving in.
And Charlie's going to have to be watching both sides since they're going to be pushing forward together.
Now, if I were Sign or
Interesting.
Apex, if I see the other player crossing into open field, but I still know that Charlie's in a power position, I would still do everything I can to take Charlie out of that power
It's
position.
huge. Look at this ATV. He does have the ability to rush up. Sirens are coming out. Gas is moving. Players are probably pre-medding, applying a first aid kit, so they have a heal over time during this push. All these players are kind of trying to gain some visibility, and Gas is moving. Sign is the first one pushed out. Apex Shay is probably going to be moving here in just a minute as well.
Yeah, he's
taking shots at
on
Sign.
Oh, it looks like he's not able to shoot through there right now, though.
It's an interesting interaction right there, that's for sure.
They're all
Apex
trying
Shay.
to figure out the right time to move, but they end up moving at the same time. Sign and Apex both moving towards Colt. Not very much cover.
Now, I
This
believe
is
Shay is in throwable range here, between all players. Sign has a really nice spot.
He actually
Luckily,
does.
Looks like all players found a little bit of piece to cover. Sign might
Oh,
be
but
forced out, though.
Sign has nothing. Sign has to rush Apex to pinch him.
He's using the gas. Grenades coming out onto the rock, blocking off Charlie in the 1v1. Sign going
Oh.
down.
Oh, and Apex is damaged, and is he going to get pushed out further?
Oh, no.
This is a horrible situation for
awful
Apex. No helmet and down to one shot. If he's able to win this fight, it'll be an upset of the century. I think Charlie's got it. If he just covers one more hit.
So close.
Great
So
game,
close.
though.
Charlie winning game one.
Charlie
Yes.
with like
holding
10
down the
HP.
fort.
Wow.
That is actually insane. He got, honestly, really lucky
Yeah.
for game one.
He
I'm
played
going to
it
have to
so
say,
well.
if Sign maybe would have pushed the other way, we could have seen a much more different result.
Man.
And unfortunately,
Yeah.
Charlie kind of got the lucky end of the
Yeah, well, top
fight
10
there.
is all about positioning. If you can find that position where you can deal out damage and keep yourself away from the fight, which is what Colt Charlie did, he picked that correct spot. He knew, I just have to be here. I need to deal out damage when the other players start to push. He did that. The other two players were forced to fight each other. Then he was able to do the 1v1 against Apex Shay. Apex still put up a crazy
Yeah,
fight.
that was
Yeah,
really
it was
good.
bold. I mean, he had no moves left. He had no helmet, wide open. He's like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Right?
He
You
committed.
got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
There
absolutely.
were a lot of impressive plays in that game. A lot of impressive plays. A lot of turnarounds. There were situations where I was like, okay, this player's down to one shot. He's gonna get taken out, or somebody gets flanked.
Yeah.
But they whip around and get him with a two-tap or get him with a shotgun
I
shot.
think definitely an iconic moment was Splintexify finding himself at 10 HP.
Yeah.
Back turned, whips the 180 and one shot spins and
It
just
was
takes him out of the
insane.
game. A
It was
very
the
very
upset.
clutch play, and I'd also like to point out Crumb's use of the gas and kind of taking out two key players, getting himself some gear, and
Definitely.
securing more points as the game progressed.
Definitely. Crumb played very, very well. Howie played very, very well, surviving till the very end, getting into 10th place,
Utilizing
I believe.
those bathrooms.
You
in
got
the
to use
map.
you got to use
Yeah.
everything you can if you want to survive.
They're
Now,
there.
we're looking for consistency, right? We're looking for the players who can consistently get to where they're going. We're going to be playing 3 games, but just for the first of those 3 games, we can take a look at the top 20 scores right now.
Let's check it out.
Top 20 scores of game number 1. These are the players that have put themselves into a pretty good situation. If they can continue to perform well in game 2 and game 3, then they're going to be put into a very, very good situation.
Fantastic game, though. A lot of skill was shown here. We didn't see anyone in the woods with a melee weapon trying to.
No, not this
Chop
time.
down
Everybody
trees.
was all business. All
They were.
business. Colt, of course, first place. Apex, second place. Sign, third place. MMX, fourth place. But anything can happen.
Yeah,
Anything can happen.
absolutely. We have with us Chris Wynn,
How's it going?
Chris Wynn, thank
As
you
you
for
guys
joining
know,
us.
Yeah, it's
the
good to be
executive
here.
producer for H1Z1, and
Thank
it's
you.
a privilege having you.
Yeah, it's good. I just threw on Pawnee's headset. And Pawnee's head is way bigger than mine. This is
Pineapples.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what did you think of that first game?
it was a great ending. One of the things that was really interesting was to